The siren wailed like a bad opera singer as the cop car screeched up to my inherited lake house. Not even 5 minutes after I'd parked the U-Haul. There she was, strutting across the dock in stilettos that probably cost more than my monthly VA check. Phone glued to her ear like it was her lifeline to petty power. "Yes, officer. The squatter's here. The one with the junky truck ruining our property values," she barked, while neighbors sipped their coffees on porches, turning my homecoming into a free neighborhood spectacle. "My name's Jack Harlan. Retired Navy SEAL after 25 years dodging bullets and bad intel in places hotter than a HOA board meeting. I dreamed of this cabin on Evergreen Lake since I was a kid, built by my grandpa Earl in 1958. A grizzled Vietnam vet who hammered every nail himself after coming home with more scars than stories. Summers here meant learning to bait hooks, tie knots that could save your life, and hearing tales of jungle patrols over the scent of campfire smoke and bug spray. When Grandpa passed last fall, he willed me the place, his only real treasure. I figured it'd be my quiet spot to tinker with old engines, read those dog-eared thrillers I'd hauled through 4 tours, and live off my pension without anyone barking orders. But Evergreen Lake had morphed from a sleepy fishing haven into a gated nightmare of vinyl-sided mansions, where community standards meant erasing anything with actual soul. Enter Priscilla Voss, the self-crowned queen of the Evergreen Lake Homeowners Association. She blew in around 2015 like a Botoxed blizzard, married to Vance Voss, a slick real estate flipper who'd cashed in on the post-recession boom. They snatched the flashiest waterfront pile, all glass walls and zero personality, and before you could say dues increase, she clawed her way to HOA president on a platform of preserving our upscale vibe. Her heels clicked like tiny judgments on the community paths, and her smile was the kind that said, "Bless your heart," while plotting your eviction. The trouble started with a bang, or rather, a certified envelope that landed like a dud grenade. I was packing my sea bag when it arrived, sealed with wax that screamed, "Official nonsense." "Dear Mr. Harlan," it oozed in that Fopolite font, "your inherited structure fails to meet our enhanced aesthetic guidelines. To maintain our premium neighborhood appeal, please implement these essential upgrades prior to residency." The list read like a bad shopping spree. Pressure wash the siding, which Grandpa had painted himself. Install approved solar lights, replace the outdated dock with composite nonsense, and landscape with native perennials, instead of the wildflowers that had bloomed here for decades. Total tab? $12,000. For a cabin that had weathered storms, family reunions, and Grandpa's legendary fish fries without complaint. I dialed the number faster than a boot camp roll call. "Evergreen Lake HOA, Priscilla speaking. How may I elevate your day?" Her voice dripped honey over venom, like she was selling timeshares in hell. "This is Jack Harlan. Got your love letter about my grandpa's cabin. What's this about essential upgrades? The place is solid as a bunker." "Oh, Mr. Harlan, the veteran, right? How noble. But surely you understand we can't have eyesores depreciating our investments. That rustic charm? It's code for liability. Perhaps a VA trailer park would suit your lifestyle better." She paused, as if waiting for applause on her wit. I gripped the phone, picturing Grandpa's calloused hands building that porch. "These aren't violations, ma'am. They're history. The beams are hand-hewn, the fireplace stones from the lake bed. 3 generations cleaned perch there. History is lovely in museums, dear. Here we prioritize progress. Comply in 30 days, or we'll pursue enforcement. For the greater good, of course." Click. Dead air. Standing in the empty apartment I'd rented post-retirement, surrounded by boxes of medals and memories, I realized this wasn't about paint chips. It was class warfare in khakis, erasing blue-collar roots for McMansion money. Priscilla Voss had just poked the wrong bear. She escalated quicker than a bar fight. 2 days later, a suit showed up at my door with papers thicker than a field manual. Temporary injunction, cease occupancy pending compliance. Hired guns from Sterling and Hale, the sort of firm that bills by the breath. But SEALs don't panic, we plan. While Priscilla burned cash on legalese, I hit the county records office, armed with coffee and the stoicism Grandpa drilled into me on those dawn fishing runs. The basement reeked of mildew and forgotten feuds, but truths hid in those dusty files. The clerk, a no-nonsense lady named Ethel who'd probably outlasted 5 administrations, eyed me over her bifocals. Property deeds for Evergreen Lake? Grab a chair, son. It's gonna be a dig. 3 hours in jackpot. Grandpa's 1958 deed, pristine, no covenants, no HOA strings, because the HOA formed in 2001, decades later. Grandfather clause? Ironclad. Priscilla's rules were as binding as a pinky swear. Deeper dive. Vance's firm snagged a $65,000 no-bid gig for community beautification in 2021. Greenlit by his wife's board. Coffee went sour as I smelled the graft. This was bigger than my doc, systemic shakedown. Find your buried treasure? Ethel asked, peering over. More like a smoking gun. I photocopied the lot, then spotted my first wingman in the lot. Gladys Thorne, 76, wrestling her cane from a rust bucket Ford older than my deployments. Your Earl's grandson, the one Voss is hassling, she declared, eyes twinkling like she smelled blood. I clerked for judges 40 years. Know every HOA scam in the book. Her cane thumped asphalt as she spilled. HOAs as developer weapons, jacking values to squeeze out old-timers, taxes skyrocketing till folks sold cheap. Your deed trumps their trash. But you'll need backup, free. 'Cause some of us remember when this lake was for living, not listing. That night, I laid out Grandpa's Silver Star beside the docks. Priscilla's TRO blocked move-in for a hearing in 2 weeks. Motel eats into savings like termites. But intel was ammo. Pro tip for homeowners. Deed date versus HOA birth? Old wins every time. Phone pinged. Stirring pots with big players? Back off while you can. Concerned neighbor. I chuckled, terrorists had better grammar. Screenshot. Filed. Scared foes slip up. A loon echoed over the lake I couldn't claim yet. Game on. A week into motel purgatory. Think stale sheets and vending machine dinners. Priscilla fired next. Fancy flyers in every box. Urgent assembly. Safeguarding our elite enclave. The hall smelled of cheap air freshener masking years of grudges. Chairs groaned as folks shuffled in, eyeing each other like suspects. Priscilla commanded the podium, PowerPoint glowing like her ego. Thank you for prioritizing our shared prosperity, she cooed, clicking to slides of visionary enhancements. Property graphs, curb appeal stats, then the zinger. To counter emerging threats, I propose a $20,000 per lot levy for premium security upgrades. Coughs rippled. Treasurer Wally Fitch fidgeted like he'd sat on a tack, his tie askew. I showed in dress blues, metals gleaming, a silent don't mess with service vibe. Whispers followed. Before voting cash we don't have, I rose, voice steady as a sniper's breath. Let's audit the books. Owner's right. Priscilla's grin froze. Mr. Harlan, as a non-resident. Any deed holder qualifies, Gladys chimed, cane punctuating. Per bylaws you love quoting. Stutter City. Vance's crew for the work. Naturally. Same Vance whose last upgrades left potholes unfilled. Per grumbles. Wally mumbled. System updates. Translation. Cooked books. HOA hack. Demand records in writing. Refusal. Lawsuit bait. Post-meeting. Parking lot huddle. 3 shadows approached. Gutsy move, murmured Edith Klein, ex-nurse with a glare that could sterilize. We've suspected funny money forever. Vance's guys bang around. Bill Big, deliver zilch, added Tom Greer. Calloused hands from real work. Neighbor Lena Ortiz. Priscilla offered to buy us out last month. Said investors love our view. Puzzle snapped. Not standards but land grab for flips. Grandpa's spot? Prime for her empire. Motel bed became war room. Discrepancies? Contracts. Texts. David with Docs versus Goliath's gold. But cracks showed, folks whispering. Another ping. Blues won't save you from foreclosure. Friend. Filed. Keep yapping. Lake shimmered outside, calling. Soon. Harassment hit peak Monday. County van at the cabin, inspector clipboard clutching, Vance's cologne lingering like guilt. Step off, sir. Anonymous tip on hazards. Anonymous as Priscilla's Mercedes peeling out? Violations absurd. Wobbly dock. Grandpa's ironclad. Faulty wiring. Recent pass. Shaky base. Lake rock solid. Fix. $35,000. Vance's card attached. Ms. Voss suggested buying as is. $45K, easy out. For $200,000 value? Insulting as sand in boots. VA office next. Caseworker Rosa Diaz spread forms. Vet perks untapped. Tax breaks. Zero interest loans. Historic grants. Historic? Oasis. Cabin qualified preservation funds incoming. Back home? Slash tires. Spray paint troublemaker. Neighbors got notes. Side wrong, pay up. Terror tactics. Gladys rallied. Heritage meet tomorrow. Exposed deeds. Priscilla countered. Fake posts as me. Ranting military takeover. Pro-job, her panic showing. Luther Hayes. 82. Gravel crunch visit. Vance threatened. Old folks trip easy. Recorded. Always document, son. Tensions boiled. Time for brass. Chief Elena Ramirez. Office like a bunker of badges. Heard your rabble-rouser or reformer. Evidence dump. Pics. Tapes. Threats. This reeks RICO. Elder abuse. Fraud. But Priscilla's finale loomed. Expel threat vote. 24-hour notice. Language. Unstable vet endangers all. Rosa's laptop. Bogus profiles spewing hate. Luther's tape. Vance's menace. Hall packed, air thick as fog. Priscilla's setup. Allies front. Foes back. Wally sweated bullets. Tonight, we purge peril. She preached. Slides twisting cabin to bunker. Fakes as proof. Even forged VA note on my issues. But underestimation fatal. Questions. Edith Rose. Play Wally's tapes first. Bribes threats. Priscilla blanched. Private. Crime ain't private. Gladys gavels with cane. Vance lunged. Shut it, hag. Door bangs. Chief Ramirez enters. Deputies flanking. Fed suit in tow. Meeting adjourned. Felonies afoot. Room froze. Priscilla. Outrage. Private. Embezzlements public, ma'am. Agent Mia Lopez. FBI probes HOA scams. Your files helped, Mr. Harlan. I stood. Blues shining. Just wanted peace. But bullies get checked. Chief nods rear. Vance bolts. Blocked. Before bolting, I pull 1958 charter. Water rights override HOA, your marina? Illegal. Vance snarls. We checked. Not originals, Lopez quips. Wally cracks. Tapes blare. Priscilla. Fudge books, Wally. $8K your cut. Or your pension vanishes. Murmurs swell. We got Vance on cam slashing. Fraud over $250,000, Elder Terror. Chief. Vance Voss. Cuffed for vandalism. Conspiracy. Click. Priscilla. We're enhancers. Fraud's no upgrade. Cuffs on. Chief salutes. P.O. Harlan. Thanks for exposing rot. In Grandpa's honor. Applause thunders. Relief floods. Home, folks. Dawn in cabin. Coffee, pines, loons. Rally tools, paint, casseroles. Luther directs. Gladys bosses. No lone wolf fixes. Tom paints. Aftermath. Vance's flop. 2 years prison. Payback. Priscilla. 4 years. HOA ban. Victory. Earl Harlan Scholarship from Lute Vet Kids College. First. Rosa's son. Law-bound. Lesson. Dock disputes. Pics. Tapes win. Vet's boat bash. Fund services. Trophy. Silence hooks crooks. My engine shop booms. Skills heal neighbors. Anxiety fades in community bomb. New board transparent. Fair. Values steady. Families mix. State letter. Case sparks vet shields. HOA checks. Ripples. Barbecue scents. Purple heart mantled. Network grows. Defend heritage? Worth the fight. Your HOA horror? Share below. But was Priscilla the villain, or just the face of a system rigged for the rich, right or wrong?